Hi, I'm live. I try not to bump my cord on my computer. Let's see if I can scoot up here a little bit. Now, the past 2 days, I've been sharing some information with y'all, so I'm about to present you all with the evidence that I have of the brutality, so that if y'all get together and discuss this, y'all will have the information that y'all need to see for yourselves the type of abuse, the type of attacks, and the threats. I'm getting ready to present y'all with this. Okay. Now, when I got assaulted by my door in February the 14th of 2020, I'm going to show you these things. I went to the housing court and I asked them for a restraining order. This is the application. Now, this just happened when COVID came out. So I'm showing you all this so that if you need evidence or something to reference to, you have it. Okay, it's something that y'all could talk about. Now, that was for a restraining order because they assaulted me with my door. It's another part of it, the application for the restraining order. Now, they had a hearing June 8th to answer to my complaint, and they did a no-show. But they got mad because I had a bad water damage in front of my door from the machine running over the water, that they went after my animals, trying to degrade me in that way. And because I told them at the hearing that they are violating by coming to my apartment without giving me 24-hour notice. And they said that they're supposed to give me 48-hour notice if I have to do something. They continue to do that to this day. But somehow, even though I had evidence, and me and my son saying that they didn't even respond to what they're taking me to court for, they're taking me to court saying I wasn't allowed to have pets. So they wanted to get my pets taken away from me. Then they said that, oh, and Your Honor, she's not letting us in when we're giving her 24-hour notices. And I'm here there in the courtroom presenting my side, and I said, they didn't even show up. They believed them and didn't believe me, even when they showed up with my evidence that I applied for a restraining order for this reason alone, and yet they took it and used it against me, and now it's in my housing court, a perjury down there. Okay. Now let's move on. Now y'all know recently I went to the judge because they were refusing to exterminate my apartment. So I filed another motion here that they wasn't following the judge's court orders. Now I'm gonna pull out the judge's court order and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna show it to you and I'm gonna read it to you. I got it here, so bear with me. This is things that you all are gonna need to protect yourself from this kind of harassment, because you have no value as a Black person, let alone a Black woman, to defend yourself behind this kind of abuse. I'm looking for that court order letter from the judge. It's here. Just give me a second to find it. This is the nasty letter that they sent me, the new one. Okay. Let me look in here. It's got to be in here. Judges. She's written it out. Her thing is not that easy to read, but come on, here it is. I want y'all to see this. I want you to see it, all of it, so you can read it. Okay. This happened February the 20th when I took them to court. I have nothing. And this is the other half of the judge's court order. This is the flip side of it. Okay, so y'all can read this. Okay. Y'all can read. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this the best way that I can. Now, it says, with reference to the motion by defendant, which is me, Beverly Mcleod, and I should have been the plaintiff, significant enforcement of an agreement entered by the parties in October 1st, 2020, for a reasonable accommodation. Which, when I got these green beetles, they refused to exterminate my apartment because they didn't want to give me a reasonable accommodation. And I can't raise up my hand this high or raise down. I'm disabled because of them. And I just had shoulder surgery. So let me go ahead with the judge's court order. Beverly Mcleod seeking enforcement of an agreement entered by the parties in October. This court finds that the intention of the agreement was to ensure that the plaintiff was able to conduct inspections, repairs, maintenance, and extermination without interference. Oh boy. The agreement also complicate or whatever this word is, me, or more reasonable accommodation requests to enable the defendant, this is important, to enjoy her tenancy in the same manner as other tenants. They're violating this. They're violating this whole order. Okay. This court finds, based on the credibility testimony of Beverly Mcleod, that the defendant requires, got M given extermination in her apartment. I'm going to give my address. Okay. This court also finds, based on her credibility testimony, that exterminations will not be effective unless her kitchen shelves, both upper and bottoms, are empty of all items stored therein. This court further finds that the defendant is not, based on the foregoing of court orders. I showed y'all the other side. They're violating that court order, not giving me a reasonable accommodation. Okay. The plaintiff shall conduct the next extermination date on the unit, February the 26th, 2025, at approximately 10 o'clock a.m. The plaintiff shall therefore conduct briefly extermination every other Wednesday at approximately 10 o'clock. This order serves as a notice of the routine bi-weekly extermination to occur until further order of this court. This is important, y'all. Okay. On the day of each scheduled extermination, the plaintiff shall send one or more personnel to the unit of an hour before the extermination at approximately 9 o'clock, in parentheses. The purpose of the task is to empty in kitchen shelves and placing the removed items in boxes by 3 o'clock to 4 p.m. on the day of each scheduled extermination. The plaintiff shall return to her unit to restore the defendant's belongings, restore my belongings to the kitchen shelves. The restoration of the kitchen should be done as efficiently as possible to enable the defendant to access the kitchen in sufficient time to prepare dinner. If for any reason the plaintiff must adjust the day and the time of the scheduled exterminations, in parentheses, the plaintiff shall provide a minimum 48-hour notice. The defendant shall be required to permit entry to the plaintiff workers to clear and restore the shelves. Restore the shelves. And the licensed exterminator to conduct the extermination. Those of you who followed my video, they've only showed up 3 times. They showed up that 26th. Then they didn't show up sometime until March. Then they didn't show up sometime until April. Then they didn't show up sometime until May. But the time that they were scheduled, there were no shows. Even Mark Washington from A Strong City Hall was here. Me, him, and my son waited. Nobody showed. He said, they don't even come out and let you know they're not coming. Okay. Now, if y'all notice my videos, I showed you my apartment. I just had a nurse here. The accusation. I'm going to share what happened. Okay. Now, y'all heard this judge's court order, right? Let me show you the letter that the lawyer sent me. The same lawyers they said I didn't have to worry about. Y'all got to read what they said. If I can hold this back, maybe y'all could zoom in on it later. Let me try it this way so that y'all be able to read the contents. It's not only a 1-page. It's in 2 pages. Now, the judge warned them that they're not, I told the judge that they gang up on me. The judge ordered them not to do this. I said, every time I retaliate or something, they gang up on me. Okay. Now, I'm going to read this letter. Please be advised that this office represents your landlord, and retaliation to your tenancy at the address, which is located at the property. Okay. Management has become aware of several incidents involving your household, which constitute material non-compliance with your lease. There's no such thing on my lease. Okay. Specifically, you have constantly recorded and or broadcast on YouTube live. Maintenance staff without their consent every time they are in your apartment, either performing repairs or assisting you with your reasonable accommodation about maintenance not being in your apartment at precisely 9 o'clock to assist you with the reasonable accommodation, the one they refused to do, the judge ordered to. Now, this is how they come at me. Upon information and belief, maintenance has appeared at your apartment, listen to this now, on each of your scheduled extermination dates. Prior to the exterminator arriving and soon after 9 o'clock, in the order to assist you in a reasonable accommodation, fulfilling their obligation, finally, you have consistently failed to adequately clean your adequately clean your apartment for the scheduled exterminations. And it appears to suggest that maintenance needs to clean your apartment soon after 9 o'clock. I mean, I'm ordering them to clean my apartment for you most recently on or about May 12th. I don't even think they showed up that day. Maintenance needs to clean your apartment for you, most likely on about that day. I'm sorry, rereading this. Okay. Entering your apartment, maintenance observed that your stovetop and countertops were extremely unclean and unsanitary, and leftover food And you suggested that maintenance needs to clean for you. Now, remind you all, I got a homemaker that comes here Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. She comes Monday 9 for 3 hours, and she comes on Tuesday in the afternoon, like 2 something, and then she comes on Wednesday at 9 o'clock, the time that they're supposed to be here. I am sitting at my computer at the time that they're supposed to be here, near her, and I said, look, I guess they're not showing up. They only exterminated 2 times, y'all. But they're saying here that they was here every scheduled appointment. And the woman is cleaning Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesday. How can my apartment look like this? And I had to do a video of my apartment yesterday. I'm a very clean person. I live alone. I ain't got no kids or nothing I got to run behind or a man run behind to clean up. I'm a Virgo. Virgos are neat. Okay, let me go on with this garbage they wrote. Okay. Trying to get to where, okay, there's the countertops, leftover food. Okay. This conduct is not only a violation of your lease, but it subsequently interferes with management's ability to manage the property. This is how they feel they can do Black people now. The bottom down here where it says formal, see that highlight there? This letter shall constitute formal and final notice that you are to immediately cease and desist from engaging in conduct of that interferes with management's ability to manage the property, including but not limited to engaging in harassment communication and recording individuals without their consent. And I always introduce my thing. I said, look, I'm getting ready to start up my YouTube because I got questions I need to ask you. And the office is not telling me anything. So therefore, the exterminator, I'm asking you questions and I'm putting it on my YouTube. And I let them know I'm in my legal right to ask you questions. But the conduct that they said, and the yelling and the screaming and all of that stuff. So what they're basically saying is what I basically been telling you all. They can do this and they feel that they can do this. Take me to court. Knowing that I'm a Black female, I have nothing because everything coming out of our mouths are lies. And they're telling me, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Okay, now let me read this. This letter to constitute formal and final notice that you are to immediately assist and desist from engaging in conduct that interferes with management's ability to manage the property, including but not limited to engaging in harassment communications and recording individuals without their consent. Furthermore, you are to immediately restore your apartment to clean, safe, and sanitary conditions. So as to not exacerbate any and all pest issues on the property. Should you fail to comply with the foregoing directives and the terms of your lease, my client may be compelled to proceed with further legal actions, including but not limited to, second page, the termination of your tenancy. As such an action could affect your current and future housing options, we certainly hope that you will address this issue at this time. That's a threat. Record again and put us in the limelight like this here and keep moving your case. They're going to throw me out in the street and make sure I never get in housing again. They got that power because I'm a Black woman. And anything that they come up against because their brown corporate office that the court is on their side, and they proving it. They proving it. So that they have the green light for the Massachusetts courts to take what they're lying and spewing as evidence against you with no basis, no evidence whatsoever. They got video cameras everywhere. They got one just outside my door that picks up sound. That picks up sound. Like they said in court, they said Ms. McLeod, Mount Washington, and the housing specialist said that they don't want you there. And you want to blame the lawyers for these threats, the way this is written up. He said, but they're getting paid from somebody in the office to lie and say this. I have a right to know who my accuser is. And I have a right to take them to court and confront them on this slander, on this threat, on this defamation of character, and now the loss of look on my toes because of this kind of duress and harassment. And I warned them when they started with the pest control and they're not doing it, and the threats and things that they're doing, and the hostility they come in my house. I mean, they look at me like, you know. So let me finish with this letter, y'all. Additionally, please be advised that the property has been informed by the hired exterminators that there have been no signs of pest activity in the apartment during the two most recent treatments, which is on May 12th and then May 28th. Okay. I'm not sure. I think that my son-in-law was here at City Hall and they never showed up on that day. Okay. Due to this observation, the hired exterminator have advised the property that no further treatments are needed for your apartment as any pest issues therein has been resolved. While management has further issues, as there is no current pest issues, management has elected to cease further treatments of your apartment. What did the judge say? What did the judge say? She says only she can stop it. If you disagree with this decision or observe any further pest activity inside the apartment, please inform management immediately so that they may instruct the hired exterminators to inspect and or treat your apartment forthwith. Here in bold letters, getting ready to show you something. This is very important. Read it to you. This notice does not reinstate or create a tenancy. I'm already a tenancy. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, I bumped my cord and it canceled that, but I put the restoration up there. So I'm being restored to where I left off at. Keep getting these messages from Messenger coming up. Okay, this is the last little paragraph that's highlighted. It says, this notice does not reinstate or create a tenancy. Come on, computer, stop doing this. So that these people can see me, see my voice, and know that I'm talking out of truth. Okay. Nor does it constitute a waiver of any other grounds for termination of tenancy or of any other process or proceedings already commenced for termination of tenancy or eviction. Your landlord specifically reserves all rights to proceed under any pre-termination notices, notices to quit, or pending judicial or administrative proceedings. I looked all of that up. Basically, they're asking for the waiver for them that I don't come and file any charges against them, because the slander of that letter and what I'm doing and taking them to court in my YouTube videos is affecting their business. That's a violation of my constitutional rights. I have a right to free speech. I also have a right to record in my apartment. This letter is threatening. It says, stop, cease, and resist. If you don't, you're going to ask is going to be out in the street. And there's not a damn thing you could do about it. So I had filed another thing to enforce the judge's court order. They were violating it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able, when they set that date, to attend that court session, which was June 9th. I was in the hospital getting my toes amputated. I warned them about this pest control stuff. I said, look, y'all going back into the old way. This is too much. And they're arguing and fussing at me, and they're coming in my house gradually. And then they really got pissed off, because in that court order, the judge said they're supposed to restore everything in my cabinets properly. They were putting my stuff back on the wet chemicals and dead bugs. This is why they want me silent. They don't want me telling you all this, because then I got evidence against them. So they're threatening me. You keep running your mouth, you're going to wind up in the street. And when we get through putting you out there, you're not even going to be able to get another apartment under any kind of subsidy in Massachusetts. These are brown people, y'all. They got that. They really believe they got this kind of power. White people can't even do this. And they wouldn't do this. Not to this extent. They forget that we paved the way for them to set up businesses like this and earn a living under the struggle of our people and our backs and our slavery that built this country. And the same laws that are supposed to protect us, they got the lawyers protecting them. Come on, computer, act right. I'm alive again. I'm sorry again. I bumped this thing, but at least when the video plays, it won't show this little interruption. And I hope I haven't lost any listeners. But going back to my videos. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the threat. Okay. Cancel this. This is a pattern of theirs. Okay, let me show you this. Back in the day, this is before I filed the restraining order. Come on, messenger, get out of here. Before I filed the restraining order against them, and screen with, but let me show you how transparent I am. My TV, my cancel, my thing just wants to keep butting in. Now, I called Mask 1010 and reported that people were not wearing their masks. This was right after they did the physical assault with me on my door. Okay. And looking for that one. Just give me a minute, y'all. There's so many papers here. I hope I don't hit that again. This is ridiculous. So back in the day when I made the report that people weren't wearing the masks, they did a similar procedure to what they're doing right now. And I want to find that one so I could read it to you. And I showed this one. I also posted this one on my YouTube channel. And while I'm looking for it, basically, it's saying to me that you contacted a third party and that although you are in your rights to do so, they said that I claim that Peabody Properties is trying to kill me. That was appalling. That was insulting. That was defamation of character of who I am. And they were letting me know the power that they can wield against me. Now, these are some of the attorney letters. Oh, here it is right here. Let me show y'all this. Okay, let me show you this. Let me pull it back. Got a little coffee stain on there. This thing is old. This is September 16th of 2020. Okay. As you are aware, this office represents the property located at. We have been advised that you contacted the Inspectional Service Department of the City of Boston and reported that management was trying to kill you. And they got it in big things here. See that? See how they've written kill me? Emphasizing on that word. This is a serious allegation. And this is not taken lightly. Okay. If a cleaning person did not wear a mask, so they're admitting it, that is not an attempt to cause such a result. And it's wholly improper to make such an allegation in a public forum. What public forum? This was made in a phone call in my house. Lord have mercy. Okay. Your efforts to impugn management are malicious and have no base in fact. This correspondence shall constitute, again, big letters, formal and final demand that you cease and desist from making false claims. This is the threat now. Or belabeling same. While you are welcome to contact the city or a third party, further suggest statements should be avoided and will not be tolerated. Your immediate attention to this serious matter is therefore inspected and required. Now, this is the main one that the protection agency was involved in. This is the main letter she said. She said, Ms. McLeod. I said, well, you're a third party. Somebody called you in. And I said, they're going to do this again. She said, do you really think they're stupid to do that again? I said, wait and see. They were really stupid to do this again. Okay. And they put their threat back in 2020 that if I open my mouth up and talk to a third party, this is what they can do and get away with it. Because they got the suit and tie. They can afford the lawyers. I got the racist video. Y'all heard me talk about this. They're worse on the blacks than they are the Hispanics, and they don't want your kind in here. Because they've lost every battle that they came against me. They're furious about me still being here. Now they're trying to tell me that the landlord don't want you in here, period. Whether you got a good record or not, you're gone. Especially if you record another recording. We're going to take this bullshit to court that they lied on. Take it to the judge and tell the judge she's nasty, she's filthy, she's interfering in what we try to do, and da-da-la-la, to have me thrown out of my apartment, y'all. Y'all see the evidence. You hear my testimony. I just sound Jamaican. You hear me testimony. And tell you, y'all has got to do this. Like I said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. They keep doing shit like this, believing that they have the power to degrade me as a black woman, to label me as a filthy person, as a black woman, not to have to do proper things in my apartment. They deny me the same luxury that the judge said that I'm entitled to as every other resident. But no lawyers won't pick this up in Massachusetts. No media won't report this in Massachusetts because it's going against the revenue that these people are paying in the state of Massachusetts. Money's being passed here. Money's being passed to the police department to hush the police reports. Don't report them in favor of protecting them. So they're paying somebody off here on District E13, which goes all the way to the governor, Mayor Mari Haley, and the mayor, Michelle Wu, and the senators, Elizabeth Warren. I contacted legislator. I've done every step possible I could to get my constitutional rights and my civil rights to not be violated. They're violating me again by telling me I can't even record anything in my apartment, especially if they're here, because they don't want me putting anything out about this property on my YouTube. Why didn't they mention the TikTok or the Instagram or the Facebook? But they directly, because I did all of my recordings mostly on YouTube. So whether they say they want me defenseless, they want me vulnerable. I'm 66 years old, getting ready to be 67 in a few months. Am I not entitled to rest in peace and enjoy my time left without being abused? Massachusetts is protected against going against companies like this unless they're in a nursing home. They got it sold up where you can't sue them because they're getting that money. This is why I'm asking y'all to be a voice for me. Y'all heard the evidence. Y'all seen it. Send your comments to the mayor. Send your comments to the governor. Send your comments to the senator. And send your comments to the Democrats, because Massachusetts is supposed to be a Democratic state. And they're allowing this kind of racism to go on, and they want you to vote for them? Do you see what's going on in Massachusetts? I mean, people under the Democratic flag, they want your vote, and they want to tell you they want to protect you from all of this kind of shit. But they're guarding the crooks that are doing this, and they know they can get away with it. What happened to the democracy? I'm asking everybody, all people, I don't care what nationality you are, to spread the word. This is not just my fight. This is exposing government and the policy of greed over individuals' health. How many more limbs am I going to have to lose before somebody wakes up and says something? This stuff has already now attacked my body. It attacked me. My medical record said I can't get better unless I'm out of here in a safe environment where I can concentrate on getting better and healing. Instead, I got toes missing. Lord have mercy. White people, can y'all speak up for me, please? You know, I know y'all against some of this kind of harassment and discrimination, but I need a voice. I need a voice. I need somebody to confront these politicians here and have them protect senior citizens, elderly, of any nationality. And they're doing this to poor white people too. That this is the kind of harassment. If they don't like your kind and don't want you in here, especially those coming from the homeless or scattered site, they don't care what color you are. They don't want you in these buildings. I've been fighting this so long, people, I can't fight this by myself anymore. Where are you? Where are you? Protect Beverly Mcleod. Protect Beverly Mcleod. That's all you got to do, write to them. What are you doing to protect the situation? The elderly, the homeless, the women with children. How can you stop this kind of harassment and giving these people the authority? There's so many people running out of their apartment in the middle of the night to keep from getting evicted, because if they get evicted, they know they can't get another subsidy. This is the power that they're using, and they wield it over my head. You heard it for yourself when I read it. Aren't y'all going to do anything? I'll look for your response. The only way that they're going to stop this is that I bring national attention to it. You got people overseas and around the world share this video, because see, America's good at pointing fingers at other countries and telling them not to do this stuff to their citizens. And it's a Democrat. These not Republicans doing this to me. This is the Democrats. Now I know what Malcolm X mean when he said, if you vote Democrat, you're a traitor to your own people. Because all they want to do is pacify you and tell you that they're going to help you, and they don't do shit. Call these motherfuckers out. The mayor, the governor, especially Elizabeth Warren. She said she was going to be on top of police accountability if she got the presidency. That bitch ain't did shit. Excuse me, the word, I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't want to call nobody out their name. But if the shoe fit, wears it. She's already in trouble in an investigation for using the presidential pen. They said she should be locked up and put in jail. They doing all this criminal shit to line their pockets and allowing this kind of abuse to go on. Maury Haley, the governor, she's building up motel for refugees people. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. People seeking asylum and all of that. Because the government pays them money to house them because they need immediate shelter. So she's using the state-funded money that they gave to home the homeless and help people with housing and evictions. She's setting up her own motels. I'm not lying about this. It's been documented. Somebody else said this stuff. But it's on top of the evidence, and when I'm finding out that Massachusetts make up 70% of Massachusetts' income. So they're relying on these buildings to help the budget of Massachusetts. And when I mentioned this to the guy at Amy Strong once, what I'm going through, he said, you need to just stick to what you're here for. You ain't gonna tell me to stick to nothing. I heard what you said. It don't mean I'm in compliance with what you said, Mr. Washington. I'm gonna speak out on injustice. And you are not gonna stop me and hold my mouth quiet. And for their attorneys to put something out like this with no evidence, they've given him no supported evidence, no dates and times where these incidents have occurred, but they said every time they do the inspection. But they have, in the examination, they haven't been doing it. Who gives them this much power that they can lie like this, use a lawyer, have the lawyers go into court? Do you know how many people they've done this to? And are continuing to? You get it? Follow the money. Follow the money. Never mind my health. Never mind my inconvenience. Never mind longevity in this country. Never mind my mother, my grandmother, and my mother wrote the book on who her great-great-grandfather was. Tom McLean, the 12-year-old boy that was freed from slavery, got that emancipation at 12 years old. And they're going to tell me I don't even have a right to talk, to defend myself. And if you do pick up anything and use your mouth to defend yourself, you think they're telling me you think you got it bad, wait till you hit the streets. Where are my people at? Aren't y'all interested in this? Why are y'all ignoring this? Y'all so strong about, we're going to get together and this is injustice and this. You walk a good walk, but you don't talk the talk. This is injustice, people. I want those people arrested and charged for doing this. I can't even get the detective to come in and do a report. You see the evidence here. So this is my proof. I'm depending on you all to make enough noise so they can say, no, we got to do something about this because it's getting out of hand. I've got limbs missing, y'all. I can't even concentrate on healing right now. And the nurse that was here, she said, you can't heal under that kind of duress. My people, is this what you feel for me? Please, help me. Help me. Thank you. Help me. Help me. Help me. I'm recovering from getting my toes amputated. I'm trying to run down phones that people are calling me, and I'm not supposed to be on my feet. That's exactly how I'm feeling. And y'all keep calling me with the same bullshit, and I'm trying to recover here because I have a fucking feet cut off. Please leave me alone. So Oh Lord, I didn't even end the stream. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been